These are the solutions for January 17 paper 3H. Question 1. The difficulty with this question is turning 7 hours 18 minutes into a number that we can use that's decimal. So either we can do 7 hours, which is 7 times 60, 420, plus 18 is 438 minutes. And then we can divide that by 60, which will give you 7.3 hours. So 750 times 7.3 is equal to 5475. Or you can just take the 18 minutes. 18 minutes is 0.3 of an hour. 18 over 60 is 3/10, 0.3, so 7.3 hours. To turn kilometers per hour into meters per second, we multiply by 1,000 and then divide by, which gives you meters per hour. And then to get it into minutes or seconds, divide by the number of seconds in an hour, 3,600. Question 2. If three numbers have a mean of 7, then the total of the numbers is 21. If one of the numbers is 5, the median is 5, the other two numbers must be 16. And to have a range of 14, they must be 1 and 15. Question 3. We have to show this fully, which means turning these two numbers into top-heavy fractions. 5 and 2/3 means 5 times 3 is 15, add 2, 17 thirds, take away 19 fifths. The common denominator here will be 15, so 3 into 15 is 5, 5 17s are 85. 5 into 15 is 3, 3 19s are 57, and subtract. Question 4. The circumference of the circle is either 2 pi r or pi d. Remember, the radius is 20. So adding all of that up, we get that. We've got 4 lots of 15 and 4 lots of 70. So 1 mark for each of those. So the nearest centimetre is 466. Question 5. Factorising h into, that should be 7, not 7h, plus h at the end. H into 7 plus h. Part B, 11p plus 6 when we collect terms together. Part C, remember, put this in a bracket. Minus 2 squared is plus 4, not minus 4, giving you an answer of 33. Correct working on this, multiply out, and therefore we get 5q minus 15 is 12 minus q. 6q equals 27. Q is 27 over 6, which reduces to 9 over 2. Part E, the inequality. We've got to be careful with the minus sign. So the best thing to do is to move the 7t over to begin with. So 3 minus 31 is greater than or equal to 7t. So 7t is less than or equal to minus 28. T is less than or equal to minus 4. Question 6. When we're doing a mean from here, we need to have midpoints. So the middle of these multiplied by the frequency gives these numbers. Adding up all of those numbers gives 940, and the total of the frequency we're told is 100 parcels. So 940 divided by 100, 9.4. Question 7. We're told that Mario receives 96, so Mario's share is the 3. 96 over 3 is 32, which is 1 share. The difference between Rachel and Sanjit is 5 amount shares, so we now need to know what 5 32s are, 160. Question 8, draw the graph y equals minus 2x plus 4. That goes through the y-axis at 4 with gradient minus 2. Shade, we always shade the region we don't want. So if we want y is less than minus 2x plus 4, we shade above the line. Y is greater than -4, that's here, so we shade below the line. X is greater than 1, so we want to the right, so let's shade to the left. And we're left with a triangle in the middle, which is R. Question 9. I think most of you will do this method on the right. So we can multiply out both brackets. 2x plus 3 times 2x plus 3 is 4x squared plus 12x plus 9. And then we need to be careful on the right. We've got a minus sign here. So work out everything else in a bracket with first of all. And then when we take away, we're going to have plus 7x to make 19x and plus 15 to make 24. Question 10. If in a sale, normal prices are reduced by 18%, that means we have 82% of the original amount left. So the original amount times 82% is 25.83. So divide that through, X is £31.50. Question 11, the cumulative frequency table. Adding up the numbers gives that. Plotting, we want a nice smooth curve. The first question says work out the value of the lower quartile. Well, we have 100 bits of data, so the quartile is at 25. So we read across at 25 and down and to get about 49. We're now told how many spend longer than 70, so we need to go to 70, draw up, read across, get about 66, so more than that is 34. Question 12. The angle here is half the angle at the middle, so 96 at the middle, and because the angle at the centre is twice the angle at circumference. The next one are this angle here, it's the outer two that are a cyclic quadrilateral, so 48 taken away from 180 is 132, because opposite angles add up to 180. Question 13, Micah receives 4,000 at this percentage increase. Adding 2.75 means I've got 102.75, which is 1.0275 to the power 3, giving me £4,339.16. Question 14, T is K times root X, 400 is K times root 625. So K is equal to 16, 400 divided by 25. Remember to give the actual answer. The formula T is 16 times root X. Now we can use that value to get 120. Question 15, it's a non-right angle triangle. We're asked for the opposite side. We've been given two sides and an angle, so we use the cosine rule. Sticking all of those values in gives me 27.3. But I'm asked for the perimeter, so the perimeter is all three sides added together, which is 58.3. Question 16, the information I'm given is volume, so that means that K cubed is 3.375, so K is the cube root of that, which is 1.5, so we get the height is 8 times that, which is 12. Now K squared will be 2.25, and the area is going to be smaller, so 459 divided by 2.25, 204. Question 17, state what A, B and C are, put them carefully into this line. I must see this line of working. Then you give answers. It's always worth giving answers to a little bit more accuracy than you need to, and then give them to the accuracy required, 3 sig figs. Question 18. As soon as we see the word minimum, we should be thinking dy dx equals 0. So I've got to find dy dx in this question. dy dx is 20x plus 9. Put it equal to 0 and solve for x. and we want a coordinate, so substitute back into y to get 2.975. Question 19. First of all, we need to get rid of the square root. So we square both sides to get k squared. Then we can multiply by 3e to get rid of the fraction. Then we have to isolate the e's together, so bring 2e to the other side to give this. The tricky line is to spot that I now take out a factor of e, leaving me with 3k squared minus 2. So e is equal to 5m over 3k squared minus 2. Question 20. Question on bounds. The upper bound of this means I want the largest x multiplied by the largest y minus z. The largest y minus z will be the biggest y and the smallest z. So the largest x is 3.5, 8.375 and 5.25. Give me that answer. Question 21. A union B not. Everything that isn't A or B is 8 and 4, making 12. A union C not, that is the 7 and the 4. But what of those is in B? Just the 7. So 7 there is that. Shade now, A union B. So that's basically what is A and B, but is also in C. So A and B, the bits which are in C are those three down there. Question 22. First thing we have to do here is to work out the radius. So the arc length is 2 pi r times 75 over 360. Rearranging this, so multiply by 360 and divide by 2 pi 75. Gives me r is 5.5. Now use that, so pi r squared times 75 over 360 gives me 19.8. Question 23. Y is 8 minus 2x. So y squared is 8 minus 2x times 8 minus 2x, which gives me this, note, plus 4x squared. Now replace that in x squared plus y squared. So x squared plus y squared equals 52. Rearrange 5x squared minus 32x plus 12 is 0. Factorise that, either go straight ahead or get the answers and work backwards, or use the quadratic formula. It really doesn't matter as long as it's clear that you have done something to solve it. We'll get x is 2/5 and 6. Substitute back into y is 8 minus 2x. Get those answers. Question 24. This is basically, in order to end up with 3 black and 6 white in each at the end, okay, we can either move a black from here and a black from here and a black from there, or we move a white, a white and a white. So the probability, the first black is 3 out of 9. Then I've got another black in this box. So the next one is 4 out of 10, and again 4 out of 10. And if I do the same with the whites, it's that, which meets a total of 38 out of 100.